What is going on, everybody? It's Friday night, March 13th. There's one person on here now. Been a crazy few days. What do we want to talk about tonight? What is going on? I kind of wanted to come on here because I had a feeling that there was going to be a lot of people home tonight, just chilling out, doing nothing. So am I right? Who's home doing nothing? Yo, Rio, what's up? What's going on? Where are you at? There was really no topic for this live. Got 8 people on there now. Just kind of wanted to see where everybody's head's at. What do you want to talk about? Vintage t-shirts? The world? Coronavirus? Any of the 10 people on here now, what up, Big Drift? Any of the 10 people on here now watch the latest video I posted making my son his sweatsuit? 9 people on here. How many people can we get on a YouTube live? It's a little bit weak. Oh, 10 back to 9. I do get sick of talking t-shirts. So what do you want to talk about, Rio? What do you guys think is going to happen to the market right now? What up, Future Vintage One? What up, Big Drift? What up, Rio? 12 people in the mix on here. 12 people. What are we going to talk about? Somebody bust out a topic. Let's go. Where's everyone at in the world? Rio, where are you at in the world? Big Drift, where are you at in the world? We got 13 people. 13 people on a Friday night. You think the U.S. could go to 0% interest rate? Some places went to negative interest rates. That's not a good thing, I don't think, when it goes up with that deep. But I don't really know. You know, I'm only new to the economic world, so I don't really know what that means. But Canada dropped their interest rates, and it makes it cheaper for mortgages. But I don't know if that's a good thing. My 401k is hella down, bro. Glenn Taylor, yeah, dude, it's gonna be way down right now, man. That's gnarly. Trust me, my stocks are down too. I don't have the 401k, but I haven't even looked at my RRSPs. I bet it's like we call 401k RRSPs. It's going to be super low right now. But you know what? I'm holding steady on all my stocks. I didn't pull when it was high, and there's no way I'm pulling it out right now because that's going to be suicide. You know, it's going to be a rough ride here for a bit, but you know, all storms pass. All storms pass. All right. Shout out Carlos Vasquez, Spokane, way out in the desert. I've been there. Found some dead stock vintage in Spokane. Also, Carlos, you should be going and digging farmhouses, man. Spokane has so many crazy farmhouses just like abandoned everywhere. Did you ever listen to the podcast I did with those guys who just dig houses? It's crazy. Watching from Edmonton, people getting weird here with the virus. Yeah, I bet, dude. Vancouver was weird today. Vancouver was on one today. It was not a good scene, but you know what? I think this is like the initial shock, man. I don't know. People are going to have to come to grips with this, do what they can, and then get back to life. Chris Garcia, Rose Bowl going to be affected. I think Rose Bowl will be canceled, to be honest. I think they're going to cancel Rose Bowl. They canceled the Melrose Trading Post, which is obviously on Melrose. That's where, like, you know, 1980 something sells. US Vintage sells, or Us Vintage. A bunch of dudes sell there. That's been canceled. So yeah, not the best scene for the flea markets. I mean, everything's canceled. We were supposed to go to Monster Jam tomorrow for my son's birthday, which was in Vancouver. That's been canceled. I've heard promoters have canceled like 2-3 months of concerts. Coachella has been postponed. Music festivals here have been postponed. So yeah, cancellations going down. Future, more old school skate. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm still organizing my stuff. It's taking me forever, but I'm going to get to it. Big drift out in Alaska. Rio, Sydney, Australia. How's Sydney? The fire's chilled out down there in Australia? Oh, Desd or Desd. Bought the biodegradable bags on Amazon and my order got delayed. Yeah, they kind of take a while for those to come in. I've been ordering like crazy. But good for you for ordering, and shout outs to everybody else who ordered the biodegradable bags. It's a good look for the planet, good look for you guys and your business. Yeah, college canceled. So it's chilling at home, watching Netflix for a while. NC Fire, what's up, brother? What's up, dude? Yeah, chilling on YouTube Live on a Friday night, March 13th. What else is there to do? Are they right next to the Masters tournament in Georgia? Postponed. Biggest golfing event. Yep. Everything's postponed. Social distancing, people. Joe Dimas. Hope everyone is doing good. Drew, would you pick up a cracked vintage tee? Any mitigating factors? Age? Yeah, I buy cracked tees all the time. I mean, if it looks cool, cracking can look cool on the printing. You mean on the screen printing? Sure. We buy a lot of clothes, so yeah, I buy cracked tees all the time. It is Friday the 13th. It's kind of creepy. This was a weird Friday the 13th. I tell you, maybe one of the weirdest ever. What are you going to do? You know, there's things in this world that you can control, and then there's things in this world that you can't control. So, you know, I choose to focus on the things that I can control and roll with the punches on the things that I can't control. Be grateful for what we have because, you know, if you're watching this YouTube, you're alive. That's important. Any way to bring back dry rot teas? Well, I talked about that on a podcast or something or on Instagram. I actually got some dry rot teas right now sitting in my office. Shout out to Gone Again Boys, Gone Again Vintage. They hooked me up with some dry rot teas so I could do some testing and some YouTube videos and try to bring back to life some dry rot teas. So I'm going to do a video testing out the methods. I've heard a bunch of different stuff and yeah, we'll see what happens, but I don't think so. I don't think you can bring back dry rot teas. You can stop it. Okay, I'm going to talk about dry rot for a minute. Apparently, it's like an acidity level that eats away the fabric from the dye. Over time, the dye turns to acid, and it was like dyes they used in the 80s and 90s because it was cheaper dyes or something, and the acid level goes up in the dye. That's why like you want to wash it continually. If you let them sit too long, the dry rot kicks in. But if you wash them, it flushes out the acid. Dope piece you made for your son for his birthday. Thank you, NC Fire. I appreciate that. That was super fun. He was so stoked. If you watch to the end of that video I just posted this morning, you can see my son's reaction to me giving him the sweatsuit for his birthday, and he was stoked. It's funny though, because he actually asked me for virtual reality goggles. That's what he wanted for his birthday, but I gave him a recycled, reworked tracksuit. But he was fired up. Big drift. Nothing to do but masturbate and eat corn chips. Kids in the Hall reference. Yeah, you know what to do. Stock up on your corn chips. Is your helper in the shop single? She's a cutie. Bede, I don't even know if Bede's single. She's like, she's not really in the shop. Well, she's in the studio. She's in the studio shop. Yeah, she's doing it. I don't know. You got to hit her up. Bede, Bumblebead. Hey, dude.
I heard that.
You heard me talking?
Mm-hmm.
Just talk. This is live. This is live. People are seeing this.
Right now?
Right now, people are seeing. See, look, this is his number. What number is that?
23 people are watching this.
23 people are watching this.
And it already has 1 like.
Yeah, it has 1 like.
What do you guys really? See?
Someone said, nice looking forward to the vid. LOL, way better than virtual goggles. See, people think that the present I gave you is cooler than virtual goggles. What do you think? Do you like it?
Yeah.
You like the sweatsuit I made you?
Yeah. Mom thought I was too young for virtual goggles, but I seen like a 3-year-old playing virtual reality goggles.
You seen kids rocking the virtual reality goggles?
Not rocking, just like playing.
Playing with them, yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Rocking means wearing. Someone said, "Sup, little dude." See, he's supposed to be in bed, but he heard me talking out here, so he came running out, right? Because you weren't sleeping yet.
Yeah.
Dude, you got a sick peeve from your dad. Peeve. I don't know what that means. Peeve. It's awesome, little man. Piece. Oh, you got a sick piece from your dad. Oh, yeah, you got a sick piece from your dad. Me. That's what he said.
Oh, yeah, it says,
you got a sick piece from your dad.
Beast, hey, what's up, bro?
Someone said, hey, Hudson, what's up? John Wolf.
Hey, Hudson, what's up?
John Wolf. Okay, you want to go to bed now? What do you want to talk about? You're on March break now, right?
Yeah, tomorrow's my birthday party.
Is there any students who are just going on March break?
No.
Well, Hudson's going on March break. We're going skiing this week to get away. We're going to be in a cabin in the woods, chilling out. Look, there's 6 likes now, dude. Tell people to like the video.
Like the video.
Tell them meaner. Tell them meaner.
Meaner?
You're like the video.
Like the video.
Now.
Oh, look, I got 8 already. 10.
10.
Already?
There's 22 people watching. I seriously thought there'd be more people home tonight. Like, are people still going to the clubs right now? Is that like, does that show? Anyway, okay, you gotta go to bed. Go to bed.
Wait, I want to see how much likes we can get in 1 minute.
Okay, well, you better tell them to like more then, if you want more likes.
Like more, because I want to see how much likes guys can get in 1 minute.
Go, like it, dudes. He's trying to see.
Ooh,
run it up. Run it up.
Nice.
Run it up. Come on. There's 22 people and only 11 likes. The numbers are off. You guys can't even hit the like.
Okay, don't be rude, Dad. These are guys. People.
Don't be rude. Okay, there's 14.
Oh, look, 14.
Okay, someone said, okay, sold an old Vision hip pack the other day for $50. Dude was so stoked. Dope. I have a couple Vision. Was it the Vision pack with like the skull print or like the cement print or what? Let me know. Favorite vintage videos on YouTube. Thanks for the free education, Drew. No problem. Happy to help, dudes. By the way, I've talked to you about this before. The program is coming. I really sat down this week and I was working on it, and I got a long ways into it. Go to the link in my bio on Instagram or in this video later. Sign up to the mailing list so you're in there.
Wait, I got a question for all of you. I double dare you to give no thumbs down, not even one. And I double dare you to give more likes.
Premium club time right now, LMAO.
We only got 15 minutes. Oh, 16.
Bottle service.
14.
Oh, someone took away a like.
Hey.
That's so mean. That's so mean.
Someone took away a like.
You gotta go to bed. Hugs.
Wait. Gotta see if we can get back up to where it was, and then if we get it to 16, and then we win. If we get it to 16, we'll be good. 15. Nice.
Okay, they got it back up. Go to bed. Love you.
Bye.
Hug. Go to bed now.
Okay. Tell them not to give any numbers.
They know. You told them already.
Okay. Good night.
Yeah, getting away for a little bit is sweet. I haven't had a good vacation in a minute, so I'm going skiing. Well, I snowboard. You know that. Check out the Dead Shred. That's like, it's got the U.S. snowboard team on the jersey and everything. This one's got the back hit too. Dude doing a friggin' indie grabber. So I'm going snowboarding this week to a remote resort in the Okanagan Valley, British Columbia. I'm not trying to travel far because fuck that. We don't need to go anywhere. We're hanging out. I'll send you the address. I really appreciate you. Sorry, sometimes the DMs get like buried. Excuse me. If I'm at work and I'm getting DMs and I can't keep track of them. You know what's the problem? I don't know. Like I can't mark them on red unless you're on a business account. I'm not on a business account. Someone said, got you, dude. Skater 24191. I don't know what that refers to. Sold the dope Tomb Raider tea I found at my Goodwill I work at yesterday. It's from around St. Louis, Missouri. Sweet. Tomb Raider tea. Dope. More Patagonia videos. Yeah, Louis Moon. I actually was thinking about that. I'm definitely have accumulated enough Patagonia for a full round 2 Patagonia collection video. It's happening soon. Promise. Oh yeah, so the future vintage about the Hipsack's all black. Still dope though. I have a couple different prints. I love those things. They're like a good little size, those ones. Hudson knows how to avoid going to bed. He sure does. Sometimes he'll eavesdrop, just sit in bed and listen to me and my wife chat or whatever is going on out in the living room here. Here's what I think will happen. We're going to be all staying at home for 2 to 3 weeks. Then a scientist will find a treatment, not a cure, but something that will keep people alive and make a lot of money. Make a lot of money in the process. That was Joe Dimes or Joe Dimes. MOU Records, new music alert, coronavirus mixtape volume 1. People on it. Favorite vintage page on IG right now. Mine, my favorite vintage page on IG right now. Geez, I don't know. I mean, actually, that's easy. It's the Earthling VIP, and that's not even. I'm getting so sick of seeing the same old stuff on IG, but they're like. I love that they dance. They're both dancers, and the dude's actually a sick break dancer. But they're just hype people. They're super hype people, and they're really good people, and it shows through what they do. So yeah, favorite vintage page on IG right now, Earthling VIP. Shout out to those dudes. Go follow them. They're wicked good people. Authentic, genuine, and I swear they love vintage t-shirts more than anybody. Like they love it. They live it. They breathe it. They're addicted to it. They fill their room with it. They fill their house with it. Legit. That'll be the green light to get back to normal. Enjoy the downtime. Yep. I found a sick vintage all over Rusty surf t-shirt yesterday. Super vibrant neon pink. Dope. I love Rusty. Actually, Gotcha. I'm really down with Gotcha. Rusty's okay. Patagonia versus Arc'teryx. To be honest, quality-wise, Arc'teryx, that stuff's gonna last you for your life. If you're gonna buy a new product, if you want to go buy like an $800 jacket or an $800 pair of pants to actually use for like snowboarding or skiing or mountain climbing or hiking, whatever you're gonna use, I'm gonna say Arc'teryx. I have good friends who work at Arc'teryx. Their quality is beyond. Like their mission statement is like to create the best, most durable quality product in the world. Like they're out there to break the boundaries of like quality. So Arc'teryx beyond a doubt. I like Patagonia because there's like way more vintage history, but Arc'teryx has a good history too with like graffiti artists and hip hop and stuff, like dudes, because that whole culture kind of thrives on like what's the most expensive gear and whatever. And, Arc'teryx has a good history in that too. I actually like Arc'teryx. I think if I was to buy new stuff now, like I rock Patagonia for snowboarding and have a lot of Patagonia. But I think if I'm going to go buy something new for quality, I'm going to buy Arc'teryx next time. Shout out Ellie, my good friend who works there. I've known a couple people who worked there. Arc'teryx factory, literally, like I drive by it on my way to work every day. Like their main offices are right here in Vancouver. By the way, Arc'teryx, anyway. MOU, yeah, no problem, dude. How much money do you spend a month on Patagonia, Rachel, other stuff you buy for you? I don't know. Not much. I get a lot from picking, which, that's like cheap because I'm finding it for thrift prices. Or honestly, most of the Ray trolls have been given. people keep sending me rate trolls. Shout out to everybody who's sending me rate trolls because I get so many, so sick ones. I probably spend like, I don't know, 500 to 1,000 maybe on a crazy month. Last month I bought a lot of stuff, but I'm also flipping. Like some Patagonia, I'm flipping. I'm not keeping it all. I don't need to keep it all. Like I got a whole half a warehouse full of stuff right now. I don't need to keep it all. As a kid, did you ever think clothing would be such a huge part of your life? Not really. I had like a one-track mind when I was a kid, like skateboarding, snowboarding. That was it. Like I didn't care about anything. I didn't, sure, I liked art and I was into certain things, and I liked going shopping and buying all the skate gear and like new skate brand stuff. And once I got sponsored for snowboarding, I would like get packages for snowboarding. I was super stoked on that and representing my brands, but I never thought clothing would be this big a part of my life. And no, definitely not. It's crazy. Some key tips for starting your own business. Key tips for starting your own business. I don't know. Just give her. You got to have a good sound business idea and just give her and don't give up. You might go through a rough patch, when you start, and things might not go your way, but you got to keep going. Eventually, if you never give up, you will hit the point where things will work out for you. You just got to keep pushing. You got to keep pushing forward. Make your goals, set your high goals, and never waver. Just keep going. The path to your goal may change, but your goal should not. Any motivation for me to list my death pile? Yeah. You want to know motivation to list your death pile? This goes for everyone. Here's a huge motivation to list your death pile. If North America goes under full quarantine, people are going to be sitting at home, bored out of their mind. Once you run out of Netflix shows to watch, what are you going to do? You're going to go shopping. You're going to go online shopping. You're going to shop on eBay. You're going to shop on Amazon. So start listing your death pile. So if that does happen, you can be ready and people will snap up your goods. To be honest, throughout this whole thing, this whole, coronavirus deal, it's been happening around the world for like 2 months already. Honestly, Frankie has had the best 2 months we've ever had. I don't know if that's related to this or if that's just weird timing or what, but we've been killing it all online. Have you searched for vintage clothing in Europe or Asia? If so, any tips? I've shopped vintage in Japan. Japan has killer vintage. You can find, the thing about shopping in vintage in Japan, here's a good tip for you. You can find lots of it. There's tons of it out there. And they're smaller people than Americans, typically. So they like smalls and mediums when America likes larges and XLs. So you can get deals on Ls and XLs in Japan because they don't value it as high because they're not going to wear it. Good tip. In Europe, I don't have a lot of tips for shopping vintage in Europe. I couldn't find anything good when I was in Amsterdam. I couldn't find anything good in Amsterdam, but I know there is stuff out there. Another cool recent find was a vintage Gildan tee with a screen print of the Gildan logo. Have you found any cool t-shirt manufacturer promo tees? Do you ever think these are cool? Yeah, I like those. Those are rad. I haven't found many. There was somebody who was printing those, like printing the tags on the front of the t-shirts. I forget the name, but they were kind of dope. They were doing it for Pendleton, Hanes, all these different brands. I reckon we need more vids with Jesse. Yeah, Rio, we do need more vids with Jesse. Tell him, hit him up on Instagram. Tell him to do some videos because he's slacking. Did anybody listen to the podcast with Jesse? This virus shit will affect our eBay sales. Larry King, do I think this virus shit will affect your eBay sales? I think this virus shit will affect everybody if it continues to go for a long period of time. If businesses shut down, people can't work. What happens when you can't work? You make no money. What happens when you have no money? You don't spend money. So it's going to be a trickle down, and the effects of this are going to be felt later on. Here's something I'll tell you. Okay, I've lived through like the 2008 meltdown, the housing housing crisis, 2008, when the mortgage bubble burst and everyone like lost homes and the economy went to shit for a while. Vintage is always going to be popular, but we might have to switch from selling $100, $200, $300, $1,000 t-shirts to selling like $10, $20, $30 shirts, because that's what people are going to be buying when they don't have the money anymore. Knowledge from Drew is too rare. Dude, I put out all the knowledge. It's not that rare, but thank you. The virus shit will affect you. Yeah, I love it. Thank you, man. Camille from Drew Vintage. Thank you. Okay. I had a topic I wanted to talk about. Anybody else have any questions they wanted me to grill? You guys want to grill me on some more questions? Has anybody's works closed? Is anybody not working right now, or are you guys all sellers, so you're working for yourselves? Do you collect? I collect Thrashers. I collect Transworld. I collect any snowboard or skateboard magazines, all of them. I have like a gnarly collection of like old plant houses, because I found some guy's collection at like a flea market thing, and I got like hundreds of magazines for like pennies. But I don't really collect too much magazines. I like looking through the old skate mags just to see like the old ads, and it's sick for reference. Any tips for Instagram growth aside for paid ads? Hashtags don't seem to be cutting it these days. Okay, Rio, this goes for everyone. You guys want the sickest the sickest Instagram hack? I'm gonna bust out some Instagram hacks right now for you. Okay. Number one that I recently learned: reply to your DMs via voice message. Okay, you guys hear that? Reply to your DMs via voice message. Why is this a good hack? It's all about the algorithm right now on Instagram. And what that will do is it'll tell the algorithm that you're good friends with that person. And now that person's going to see your posts more in their feed. That's one hack. Second hack is, the way you grow an account is you got to post shareable content. So when you post a feed post and then dudes hit that share to their story feature, that way then you get people coming back to your feed and then they'll follow you. Okay. So what are you posting that's shareable and likable by other people? It's got to be something that resonates with people. You got to think about, is this something that people want to share? If it's not, rethink it. Post something that people want to share. Like, drop some knowledge, help people, like motivate people, make people laugh. Those are things that people will share, and you got to get shares to grow on Instagram big time. Any other Instagram hacks? Okay, you got to keep eyes on Instagram. I'm going to bust this out. You guys all know him, Vintage Miner, okay? Vintage Miner is growing fast because what he's doing is he's posting relatable videos on his feed, and everyone's sharing them to the stories, okay? Shout out Vintage Miner, super positive dude. He's smart. He's posting shareable content, and then he's tagging all these people in it, and they're reposting his content. It's working. His count's growing really fast. So that's a hack, post shareable content, post relatable content that people can vibe with and fuck with. Also, you got to keep, so that's again goes back to keeping eyes on your page. You got to post stuff that keeps eyes there. So if you can post videos that keeps attention on your feed, it's going to bump you in the algorithm even more. So like post feed videos, post IGTV videos. Also, I've heard putting breaks in your stories is really effective. So like everyone posts stories every day, and you keep your stories always happening, but give your stories a 24-hour break. And then when you post again, your stories will get more love than they would if you kept going. Another hack. Yo, Rio, did you hear those hacks? Let me know if you like those hacks, because those are good. That's crazy good knowledge I just dropped right there. Okay. I think your dad is the best. Such a colorful man with great stories. Yeah, my dad. I love my dad. He's a great dude. We argue a lot. because we have different views on certain things, but who doesn't argue with their dad? But yeah, I want to do more videos. I want to get the rest of the story out, and expect more videos and podcasts from him. University got shut down. All my classes moving online. Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, that's happening a lot of places. It's happening here, UBC. I mean, March break's happening. Can this affect shipping, like UPS or other shipping services? Okay, so this is something we've talked about. I had meetings all day today with like my management, and we had meetings with staff, and I was mitigating crisis minds and whatever was going on today. But shipping, yes, shipping could be totally affected. Right now, like, we're still being able to ship to China, no problem. Ship all over the world, no problem. DHL, no interrupted service. Canada Post and USPS, no interrupted service. Yes, shipping can be affected, but here's something to think about. The economy has already took a massive hit, right? The beautiful thing is that online business is still going strong because they haven't shut it down. They haven't shut shipping down. The minute they shut shipping down, that's like think about how many people go to stores to shop and how many people go online to shop. It's probably more online right now. So we took like a 25% hit in the stock market because of what's going on. If they shut down shipping worldwide, it's going to crush the economy like bad. Like, Amazon can't afford to just not ship product. That's all they do. There's so many companies that just ship so much product. It's going to kill the economy. So I think they're going to think twice about shutting down shipping, and I think they're going to do that last. Like, that would be like a very extreme last measure on this whole thing. But again, it totally could happen. Like, there's been Canada Post strikes where they shut down for a month. Canada Post just had a strike to shut down for a month one time, like 2 years ago at Christmas time. Just got called out till further notice, Redondo Beach, California. Yeah, see, people's jobs are at stake here. Do you have any old catalogs for brands you collect? I have Nike catalogs. I don't collect Nike, but I have Nike and Adidas catalogs, sick ones from the 90s, like the good ones, like the ones with the 80s Adidas catalogs with the Olympic series, all those crazy, like, colorful, like, picture print ones with like the Ridgecliff glider guy. And I have catalogs with that, and I have some sick Nike catalogs. Shalom, JW. How many people do you have working for you? I mean, in the warehouse today, when we had our meeting, we were kind of skint today. A few people had left already when we did the meeting, but we were like, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. I mean, all in all, the company's like 20 to 30 people, probably. And at the warehouse any given day, we're like 10 to 15, and we got picking staff, then we got different store staff. So there's a lot of people hanging out. Was there a clothing trend that most thought was whack that you were low key on high key on board with, or high key? Okay, was there a clothing trend that most thought was whack that you were on board with? I don't know. Like, I used to really like one, like, short suits on girls, like, like a one piece, like, it's like a coverall, but like shorts, like from the 90s. I thought those were rad, but a lot of people didn't like those. Trend that was whack that I really on board with. Well, like, I mean, I think we call them Seth shirts because my buddy Seth used to wear them. But like the camp shirts, the button downs, like the flames, like for a long time, people thought those were whack, and I'm like, these are sick. And then some of them have we also call them Ricky shirts from Trailer Park Boys, silk shirts with like pictures on them, like tigers or flames, or some of them are like casino prints or friggin' whatever. They're just like weird button-up silky shirts. A lot of people thought those were whack for a long time. There's like some festivals with me wearing those like way back in the day, and then they came back like recently, like last year. Mike A, any thought of bringing your own version of a Rose Bowl fleet to Toronto? I can't really talk about this. I got some plans. It's not really like a Rose Bowl, but I do have, me and the Frankie team have been talking about a vision we have for an event. Can't really tell you more than that. It's an event. So there's something brewing in the Frankie realm that won't be just women's. It'll be like open to a lot of people. So it'll be sick. USPS handles 500 million pieces of mail every day. USP and FedEx deliver 34 million packages every day. UPS and FedEx, sorry. Yeah, there you go. John Molf just shouted it out. USPS handles 500 million pieces of mail every day. You got to figure like most of those packages going everywhere are like $20 or more. So what to do the math? That's 500 million. That's like billions of dollars daily. Billions of dollars daily. If the mail shuts down, people are losing billions of dollars every day if the mail shuts down. It's crazy. How do you go about hiring your first employee? I mean, I had homies helping me sell on eBay way back in the day. It was just like, yo, who wants a job? Come on, sit here and list shit on the computer. It's not hard. You just got to find someone. Now it's different. You got to like, yeah, Carlos Vasquez, the Billie Eilish shirt. She's on it. She made it rad, and it was kind of rad before she got on it too. But there was a period where people thought those Billie Eilish shirts were whack. How do you go about hiring your first employee? You just do it. You just figure it out. If you're corporate, you got to follow the laws about it. You got to like get people on contract. Some states have different rules. Now it's like you can't even fire people anymore. Talk about hiring is the easy part. Firing is the hard part because like they can sue you for firing them for the wrong reasons, unless you're in Texas or certain states. Thoughts on the states of vintage clothing 5 years ago and predictions of where it is headed in 5 years. Okay, this is something I want to talk about. I forgot my train of thought before. So thoughts of the state of vintage clothing 5 years ago and predictions of where it is headed in 5 years. 5 years ago was the beginning of its big boom, which we're seeing, like we're kind of at the peak of at this very stage, although this peak is going to be dropping right now because of money. Like it has to. I'm sorry, guys, it has to, because actually I don't know. I'm not rocket scientist here. Doesn't have to, okay? My opinion for what it's worth, which is not much, is that, okay, we're in the midst of this craziness right now. People are told to stay home from work, right? How long? We don't know. If they stay home from work for months, people are going to have to start like, they're not going to be able to pay rent. Landlords are going to lose money. They're not going to be able to go shopping. They have to save their money for food because they just don't have the money to shop. And like, if you look at vintage and clothing in general is like a luxury. Nobody goes out and shops for clothes because they're like, I need clothes. They go and shop for clothes because they're like, I want to change what I'm wearing. I want to look different than I was looking yesterday, or my clothes are, yeah, I'm not sure. Sometimes your clothes wear out and you buy clothes for necessity. 90% of the time, you're buying clothes for style because you want to. So I think this vintage market, the high-end vintage market, is going to take a dip. I think like certain things, people aren't going to be able, they're going to think twice about buying crazy expensive t-shirts. How do you pay your pickers? Is it like per item kind of thing, or is it's hourly salary? We pay pickers for I have pickers. Okay, I have pickers that work for me that I pay hourly that are like just picking for us. Then I have like other dealers that I buy from where I pay per piece that are kind of like my pickers. Like there's different levels to that, but I buy everywhere I can. Ricky Styles on TPB was ahead of its time. Yeah, fucking right. TPB, baby. Pop chips and a beer. Some jalapeno chips. You have to get the old Patty catalogs from College Picker. It's only right. I know. He needs to hook it up. Ricky shirts. Face mask trending right now. Hazardous Frankie rework vintage into face mask. I was like, Sarah, we should be doing the face. We did the face mask like one time. We did like balaclavas, like pullover balaclavas. We haven't done like the face mask, but I was like, we should just kill it right now with these face masks. They'll go nuts, but we didn't do it. And who knows? Maybe we will. We'll see. Ever get into collecting toys? Not really. I bought a lot of Playmobil. Not Playmobil. Anyway, I bought a lot of toys for my kids when they were young, but I ended up selling it all. It was just like stuff for them to play with, but they were like 80s vintage stuff. Which articles of clothing do you think will be hot after the t-shirt hype phase? I don't know. That's tricky. Sun breeches? Nope. Never heard of it. Yo, Jesse, you're on here. Jesse, what's up? I was going to call you, Jesse. My boy Kramer's on watching this right now. I don't know why. What a waste of a Friday night. All of you guys, you watching this on a Friday night? Come on. Okay. So, Jesse, what's up? How you doing? I'm gonna call you after this. Did you ever see Growing Up, or was that fit you made a one-time thing? Growing Up. What does that mean? Did I ever see Growing Up? Did you ever sew Growing Up, or was that fit? Oh, no, I didn't sew Growing Up. I'm learning right now. I learned recently how to cut all the patterns and stuff, and cut the clothes that we make. So I did a lot of cutting recently. I'm learning how to sew slowly. It's not my real big thing. But I'm learning. I'm taking my time, figuring it out. I want to do more sewing, and I do a lot of designing, conceptual designing with my team, and my team kills it. Sarah Bede right now, and we're hiring a new designer. No, I didn't sew growing up. Crip Knuckles, what up? Quarantine time with Drew. That's right. Quarantine time with Drew. What are we going to talk? Okay, this is what I want to talk about. Okay, stock market right now. Fucking dying, crashing. Who is ready to invest when this thing bottoms out? Seriously, you guys are all young, probably watching this. You guys are smart, hopefully. Maybe you're not smart. I don't know. I try to instill some knowledge into you guys. You got to get ready to invest in the stock market when this thing bottoms out. Okay, this is the best time. You're young. You probably have a bit of money because you've been selling a lot of t-shirts. Save every penny you can right now and open up your accounts, get your investment accounts ready. And just, if this thing keeps going down, just start buying. And don't worry if it keeps going down, because it's going to go back up mega. Get your shit together. Get in the market. There's no better opportunity than now. And I mean, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not like a few weeks from now, but like in the next 6 months is going to be game changer time for you guys to get in the market. Okay, yeah, there you go. Crip Knuckles. He says, I just met with 4 of my buddies today to open a portfolio. That's what's up. You got to start thinking long term. Don't trip on this market right now. Just like use it to your advantage. Anything I regret selling, clothing or something else? Try not to regret stuff. I don't know. Nah, not really. Stock options, those weekly contracts been in my radar for a while now. I haven't got into trading stock options, but that's a good way to make cash. But I'd say, if you want to play it safe, just buy ETFs. Just buy Vanguard S&P 500 ETFs. Disclaimer, this is not financial advice, but buy some ETFs. It's easy. It's safe. It's going to go up. I'm talking stocks, Camille. Crypto took a dive, but again, crypto took a huge dive. Like, now might be a good time to buy Bitcoin because it's got to go back up. But I don't know, like, the whole public perception of Bitcoin is very wavering. Like, some people, it never really came back after the boom. Well, the boom was like a year and a half ago, and it never really came back. What stocks are you waiting? Pull the trigger on? I'm hoping Disney drops significantly before I buy. Yeah, Disney closed. I got to start looking at them. I haven't been looking. But, Scott's paper towel and sanitary supplies, any of the companies that make hand sanitizer, in the short term, those are going to go nuts. I'll probably buy more Tesla, because Tesla, I think in 5 years is going to be a really big player. I don't know, but I'm not really interested in buying specific stocks. What I want to do is I want to put a lot of money into my ETFs, my blanketed Vanguard ETFs that watch the S&P 500 or different stuff like that. And I'm just going to put it in and just wait. That's it. Just play it safe and play it consistent. Options are a great way to turn 2K into 400K right now. Well, let's hear the secret, Crip Knuckles. 2K to 400K. Okay. What's my thoughts on dividends? Dividends are paid. Dividends are like money that the stocks will pay you yearly. Like you get stock. Like Coca-Cola will give all its shareholders dividends, like a cut of the profits quarterly. Is that correct, John F? That's what you're talking about? Dividends like get paid out? My thoughts on dividends. I've heard, I don't know if you can rely on dividends. I don't know if it's a good way to invest because I don't know, your stock might just and then maybe pay you a little bit of dividends here and there. I don't know. I think I get dividends on some of my stocks, but I'm more interested in the ETF game. Yeah. Yo, the fill-a-bag sale's done, Crip Knuckles. Fill-a-bag is not happening. We sent out a message, man. But Crip Knuckles, are you on Instagram? Are you on IG? What's your name on IG? Crip Knuckles, talk to me. What band did you skate to? I did skate to Suicidal Tendencies, Beastie Boys, geez, Primus, all the bands that I fuck with, like, Soundgarden back in the day. Like, it was all grunge, really. And then, like, later it was like hip hop, like Too Short. Most fire corporate logo to be on a tee, in your opinion? I mean, I love the Pataloha tees. I love the Patagonia tees. I love Apple. I'm down with those tees. I like, it's cool now, like how tech stuff is popular, like Windows 95 and all that. Lucas, stop. How do you value t-shirts that haven't hit the market? You mean like that aren't like hype? I don't get it. Listen to any modern rap, hip hop? If so, who's your favorite? No, you got any suggestions? I mean, I don't really follow like the new wave mumble rap stuff. No offense to anybody that does. Dag Nasty. I've heard of Dag Nasty, but I'm not really a fan. For me, band t-shirts that are a must pick up. I don't know. Just the bands I mentioned. I like I used to skate to Offspring. Best newer skate brand. I like Huff. I don't know. I don't buy new skate stuff anymore. I just take what I can get for free. Favorite blank tee. I mean, I like the 50-50 black pocket t-shirts. I just like what feels good and what fits good. It's like half of them that I wear personally, the blanks, they don't have tags. But I guess like my favorite tag is the Hanes Beefy. I like the Hanes Beefy. I like Hanes Beefy. I think it fits good. It feels good. I like it. Griselda's fire and have been putting out crazy new shit lately. All right. Oh, yo, Jesse. My brother just went to Griselda show. 2 Griselda shows. Jesse went to a Griselda show in Chicago, or no, Detroit, and in LA. Marketplace for vintage tees. I mean, eBay's kind of dead. Depop people are cheap. Etsy may work, but like, I don't know. I don't sell on it. Instagram is probably the easiest to sell fire tees. What would you value a 70s Patty Deep Pile. I mean, this is JW. That's a convoluted question because like the different colors are worth more different money, and the different styles. There's like full zips, there's quarter zips, there's some rarer ones, so they're all different. I found 10 alternative tentacles tee and like 40 other Yo Music record label tees. I found 40 alternative tentacles tee. Oh, sorry, I found 10 alternative tentacles. I've never even heard of alternative tentacles. 40 other Yo Music record label. Yo Music. Who was on Yo Music? I don't even know that either. Have you watched any videos showing the wet markets in China? This is supposedly where the COVID virus started. No, I haven't watched any videos. Is that like a dirty, deep YouTube hole I should go down and watch some of these videos? Not really stoked on doing that. How about the Dead Union? Dead Union's a t-shirt junkie. He loves his t-shirts. He digs t-shirts hard. He has good shit. He's a chill dude. He's in a band called War Baby. Do you know Dead Union used to work for me? Does anybody know that out there? You guys know Dead Union used to work for F and Frank? We're homies, and also his band partner, John, also worked for me. They met working for me, and so Kirby's in a band called War Baby, and they met picking for F and Frank years ago. Now they're like homies. They have War Baby, their band. Kirby spends a lot of time working on War Baby. I don't know. It's weird. I'm talking about Dead Union, but you ask me, he won't care. He's the homie. He has been putting a lot of time into his band lately. They're dropping an album and they're going on tour, probably postponed. But anyway, they're doing it. He's been putting a lot of effort into that. So it's kind of like that's been on his radar. So I mean, he's nonchalant about the vintage because he's like, and Kirby is a bit jaded by the industry, and he comes in and out of it in waves. Kirby's a great dude, funny ass guy. I'm gonna get him on the podcast because he's a funny dude. For sure, check it out. Alternative Tentacles is Jello Biafra's. Okay, Jello Biafra's. Okay, I'll check that out. Most record label for Dead Kennedys, DOA, and Butthole Surfers. Oh, okay. Sick. That seems like a good score then. See, I'm not like that deep into it. Like a lot of guys are like super deep into the music of the t-shirt, like the music of it. Then hence they have like all this knowledge of music labels and artists. They can like find crazy rare shit, or they just know what they're finding. But I don't have that deep knowledge actually. Instagram wet market. All right, I'm gonna go down the wet market hole. See what happens. How long have you been selling clothing for? When did you start? I've been selling clothing for over 15 years. So I'm like pretty deep in this. And I grew up around clothing. So my dad was doing it. You can go watch our episodes and talk about his history and listen to us shoot the shit. But I mean, yeah, I've been doing it for a long time. So it takes a long time to like learn what I've learned. That's why I like passing it on to you guys. Can you describe the feeling for you in the store when the snapback wave was unstoppable? The wall of hats was iconic for F and Frank from a customer perspective. Yes. Okay, at the time, it was hard for us to like understand how iconic it was. Like we should have been crushing more videos and more content at that time. I always wanted to, and like I tried to get everybody on board to do it, and we never really did it as much as we should. We should have been crushing it. The feeling of finding hiccups. The feeling of finding a dead stock dig is like unimaginable. You know, if you've done it, you understand. But when you score and you find it's like fucking hype, it's like a adrenaline. It's like it gets your endorphins moving. It's awesome. And that whole time we were always doing that. And like, it was an epic time in evolution of vintage. You know, the snapback game got a lot of people into vintage. I think a big, talk about like where was vintage 5 years ago? Someone asked that before. I mean, the snapback run was more than 5 years ago, but like maybe 5 years ago was when like the snapback thing was transitioning into people getting into vintage. So it introduced everybody to vintage. Like people would be like, go buy a hat, go buy a snapback. I got to collect snapbacks. Oh, I found this, found that at this thrift. And then eventually it got them into learning about t-shirts. It like transitioned people from hats to t-shirts to other areas of vintage. So I feel like we helped bring that in by like getting everybody on it. And then our website, we had all the hats, but then we started to bring in all the clothes, which was like all the starter gear. We had wrap tees back in the day on there. We had wrap tees on our site like 7 or 8 years ago, way before anybody was giving a shit about it. Starter stuff, designer stuff, different sports gear. I mean, we were transitioning people into like learning about vintage at that time. And it was like mega important evolution of this whole business. Grand Slam record label, Music of Life label, Criminal record label, and Living Beat label also. All right, good to know. Why do you think vintage Tommy started to fall off? Okay, it's a good question. This kind of goes to like the Tommy Polo, like Tommy versus Polo. Tommy throughout its history has always had like heyday moments and heyday times in history. Like Tommy had some time in the 90s that were crushing, and it was great. And they were working with artists, and, they were doing promotions, and they were, they putting out all the big logo stuff that you see now that was popular. But then it kind of died, and then they went into like major normcore fashion, and then like Tommy's been like up and down. Where you look at Polo, it's like Polo has never wavered. Polo's been like, this is our lane. We're sticking in our lane. Like they make like really Americana iconic fashion, right? So Polo has remained, and the vintage Polo has remained steady. Even like it had some dips because they retroed a lot of stuff, but like up until that point, Polo vintage was steady. Tommy comes up and goes down because it's like they're like doing collabs with people. They're like really pushing it. They're really like bringing it back. It's like once you bring it back too much, it kills it. So like Kith collabs, Urban Outfitters collabs, like all these collabs, Tommy was busting out, and it got too big too quick and it fell. You gotta like maintain your even keel. Does that answer your question, JW? That's what I think. I think they came up too fast and they dropped, and it was Tommy's historic relevance is a short-lived period. So when it came back as relevance, it was a short-lived period. But like Polo has always been historically relevant. So when it never goes away and just keeps coming back as relevant. Yes, sir, True Bliss. Okay. Have you ever been approached by big corporate stores to curate collections? Well, we're working with Polo right now to curate their collections for like they're doing like some vintage stuff, and we're providing Polo with a lot of vintage. We're talking to some different brands about some different stuff. Have we done curated collections? Well, we've done the Tommy collections. Like we showed up at 2 of Tommy's runway shows and curated sick vintage collections for them and sold them at their events. Those were super fun events. We did one in New York on like I forget what it was called, but like they did these runway shows with Gigi Hadid, and it was like set up like a carnival. And then we did one in Venice Beach that was super epic as well. But that was like 3 or 4 years ago. 2013-14 got into it, but I always loved old stuff, history, etc. Dope. Thoughts on reprints, vintage blanks, lots of fake tees have been popping up. You think it will hurt the vintage market? Yeah, it already has hurt the vintage market, because certain tees, if they keep coming up, like certain ones are losing the market. They're losing value because it's like too much reprints are out.